Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's the kind of man who turns his words into action. If he says he's going to do something, he really means it and works hard for it. You'll see him putting in long hours, pushing himself, and not making excuses. This can slow his progress if he offends the wrong person.
Can he bounce back from failure?
He's the kind of person who won't fall apart when things go wrong at work. Instead of panicking or feeling sorry for himself, he'll stay calm and tackle problems head on. He doesn't get shaken easily and rarely lets his emotions take over.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work will respect how hard he works and how determined he is, but he might not be very well liked. He can be blunt, sometimes even harsh, and doesn't usually put much effort into being friendly or caring about others' feelings. This can lead to arguments or tension with coworkers.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he'll likely see it as something neutral or even helpful rather than a threat. He won't feel insecure or jealous since he's focused on his own path and not easily shaken by others' achievements. If you're looking for someone who celebrates with you, he may fall a bit short, but he won't hold you back either.
What if you start earning more than him?
He's not the type to feel insecure or secretly resentful if you earn more than him. His self worth doesn't rely much on comparing with others, and he's steady when it comes to his own achievements. You won't find him sulking or trying to compete with your paycheck.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is likely to be quite careful and serious with money. He prefers to focus on practical things and achieving his goals, so you won't see him wasting money on useless items or making sudden, silly purchases. In short, he won't throw money away, but he might feel a bit strict about spending too.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He usually lives within his means and doesn't feel the need to show off or pretend to be richer than he is. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, or big gestures aren't important to him. He's focused more on real achievements and practical needs than on looking impressive in front of others. This approach can help keep life stable, even if it sometimes feels a bit plain.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He tends to be quite tight with both money and his way of thinking. He isn't naturally warm hearted or generous, so don't expect big, thoughtful gifts or gestures just for the sake of it. His mindset is more about getting things done than showing care.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is usually open and straightforward about money matters. He doesn't like playing games or hiding things. So if you ask, he'll tell you the real situation without much fuss. You might find him blunt, sometimes a little too direct, but at least you won't have to guess or worry about lies.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that everyone should do their part, but he also has strong opinions about how things should be done. He won't automatically expect housework to be only your job, especially if you also work and he values results more than who does the work. If you're open and set clear rules together, he'll respect shared work. But he's not someone who will quietly pick up the slack or fuss over fairness unless it's discussed first.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to supervise or direct how chores and diapers should be done rather than quietly pitching in side by side. He wants things done properly, usually his way, so he may watch over and offer advice instead of rolling up his sleeves without being asked. He's not lazy, but he prefers to take charge rather than just join in quietly.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He usually cares more about proving his point than really trying to see things from your side. When you disagree or share your feelings, he's quick to explain his reasons and make sure you know why he thinks he's right. You'll need to be clear and stand your ground, or he'll likely keep pushing his own view until you give in.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he usually keeps calm and doesn't shout or lose control, but he can be quite blunt and say things that sting. He won't break things or act wild, but his words can be sharp, and he may not care if they hurt your feelings in that moment. He believes in being direct and honest, sometimes at the cost of kindness.
Does he have a bad temper?
He is not the kind of man who gets angry quickly. It takes a lot to really upset him. He stays steady and doesn't let small things push his buttons or make him lose his temper. If you're worried about quick, fiery anger or someone who yells, he isn't that type.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
Saying sorry and taking responsibility doesn't come easily to him. Instead of admitting fault, he often stands by what he did and tries to explain why he thought it was right. He usually thinks he knows best and isn't quick to apologize, even if it would help the situation.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is likely to respect clear boundaries if you are firm and direct about them. He values straight talk and practical rules. So when you say no, he'll understand and stop, although he may question your reasons or try to discuss it first. He responds best to simple and strong communication.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He usually doesn't take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He tends to see things in a practical, matter of fact way. So he won't get sulky or upset if you say no. But rest assured, he won't treat it as a personal insult or hold it against you.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to keep private moments private and not use them to hurt or embarrass you later. He is straightforward and practical. While he might be blunt in regular conversations, he isn't the type to bring up personal, intimate details to shame you or win a fight. You may not get a lot of extra tenderness, but your trust will not be broken in this way.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. His focus is mainly on his own goals and responsibilities, so he doesn't go looking for excitement or attention elsewhere. If he makes a commitment, he takes it seriously and expects the same in return.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He is not the type to be over possessive or react with jealousy and suspicion. His mind is usually occupied with his own goals and work, so he doesn't spend energy worrying about what you're doing every minute or trying to control your actions. As long as you're honest with him, he won't crowd you with suspicion.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
His protective nature is less about genuine care and more about having things done his way, which can feel controlling. He likes to be in charge and believes he knows what's best, so sometimes what looks like protection is actually him wanting to make all the decisions. His style is about order and results, not about comforting or nurturing.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He may not automatically see parenting as a true team effort and could expect you to handle most of the day to day work. He believes in getting things done, but home and childcare tasks may not be on his radar unless you ask clearly for help. If you want him to do his fair share, you'll need to be direct and set clear roles together, or else you may find yourself carrying most of the parenting load.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't get rattled easily and keeps his cool even when things go wrong. He will focus on fixing the problem and teaching the kids what they should do next time.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will respect the work you do as a mother and value your ability to get things done, but he may not easily see or support your need to have an identity beyond home and family. He's practical and focused on what needs to be done. So, as long as you are handling responsibilities well, he won't object. However, if your interests or personal goals take time away from family tasks, he might question your choices or remind you of more important duties.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is a man who might support your career at first, as long as it fits into the practical needs of the family. But once you have a child, he may expect you to step back from work and focus more on home and parenting duties. He won't see this as unfair, just as the logical choice.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is likely to act polite on the surface with your parents, but true warmth and emotional closeness may be missing. He will show basic respect, greet them properly, and do what's expected at family gatherings, but he won't go out of his way to build a deep, friendly relationship. His focus is on being practical and keeping things smooth, not on creating strong bonds. He's more likely to expect your family to adjust to his ways than to change himself for them.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly and won't get angry or cause a scene. But his way of dealing with it can sometimes make things worse. He tends to speak his mind without softening his words and can be very blunt, which might upset your family or create awkwardness. He doesn't hide his opinions or play along just to keep the peace. So small issues could become bigger if he feels challenged.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he's likely the kind of man who acts modern and practical with you in private, but expects you to take on the role of a traditional supportive wife when his relatives are around. He sees home life and family reputation as serious matters and may want you to behave in ways that match his family's or society's expectations, even if he personally doesn't demand these things day to day. If you want to be yourself at all times, you may have to talk it out with him upfront.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension with his family, he is more likely to stay out of it or quietly side with them rather than openly support you. He tends to see family traditions and ways as important, and he prefers things to run smoothly in the household. Most of the time, you'll need to handle disagreements with his family by yourself.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is not a classic mummy's boy who blindly follows his mother, but he does strongly respect rules, order, and family traditions, which often means siding with his mother in conflicts. He prefers to keep peace at home and may expect you to adjust rather than stand up against his mother's wishes. You may have to stand up for yourself if you want your viewpoint to be heard.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the type to share every detail of your fights or private matters with his mother or sister. He values privacy and keeps personal issues between the two of you unless he thinks their advice is absolutely necessary for a practical reason. If he does mention something, it's usually about finding a solution, not gossiping.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being with this man day in and day out means living with someone who is steady, reliable, and practical, but not very gentle or openly affectionate. He works hard, expects things to be done right, and often believes his way is the best way.